Well, I've been struggling a lot with my weight. You know, I have a 3-year-old son, and before I had him, I never had a weight problem ever. I barely even had to exercise, and I, you know, was always a size 2, a size 4, no problem. And with my son, I gained a ton of weight. I totally was not prepared. I thought that I could just eat whatever I wanted and it would come off, and I was totally wrong. It was like 60 pounds I gained, 58 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, the day I went in to have my son, they weighed me, and they said my weight was like 174 pounds, and my husband goes, "Holy cow, he's like, that's more than I weigh." And it was like the meanest thing you could say, but it was true.
So what this scale does for us, I really like this, because it's going to, oh, I'm sorry, Amanda, you're 33. How tall are you?
5'3".
Really, 5'3"?
Probably 5'3".
Come on up and step on the scale. So we really like this scale, because when we're on this scale, not only is this going to be taking your weight, but it's going to be taking your fat percentages, your water weight, and your muscle. So that's really important during HCG, because with any weight loss diet, you want to make sure that you're losing fat and that you're not losing valuable muscle or water. So when we go through these results here, we can see that we have your age and your height here. Your weight came in at 133.6. Your body mass index was at 23.7. Your fat percentage was at 30.4. The other numbers we're not going to be too terribly concerned about, but you can see down here at this desirable range, the fat percentage is between 21 and 33. So we are within that range, but you can see that we're on the upper end of that. So we're going to work on pulling you down towards the 21 while you're here in the program with us. The other few numbers that might be of importance is the fat mass is at 40 pounds. And again, you can see here our desirable range should be between 24 and 45. So we're on that upper end of the range, and we certainly can have room to pull that down. Here's our muscles at 93, and our total body water is at 68. Now, hard today to really calculate whether or not you're dehydrated or not, but when we have ones in the future, we'll certainly be able to tell you if you're dehydrated. You've got it.
134. Okay, so what do you think of that?
That's awesome.
Yeah?
3 pounds since yesterday. So.
3 pounds since yesterday.
Yeah, and 6 pounds since the day before that. So.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, it feels good.
128.8, you're in the 120s.
No, it's good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
That helps motivate me more.
Hey Amanda, how are you doing? It's been a few weeks since we've been able to see you in person.
Yep.
So why don't you fill me in on what's been going on?
Well, the last 2 weeks have been pretty busy. 2 weeks ago I had my birthday, and it was probably not the ideal time to be on the HCG diet, but actually it helped keep me kind of in check and not going overboard. Although I did have a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday night dinner with different people, but I held on. I pretty much stuck to the diet, stuck to just salads, light protein. I did have a cocktail each night. And then I had to go to Chicago for work for 2 days and have lunches and dinners with clients and flying. And anyway, so needless to say, those 5 days I didn't lose any weight, but I didn't gain, which was like, thank God. I talked to Nina throughout the whole thing. She adjusted what I needed and got me back on track. So in the last week, I think I've done pretty well and broke that plateau and kind of got back on track.
Great, great. It's impressive, especially knowing that we hit a couple of snags. But you know, anytime somebody stalls, it's really important that we have that communication so that we can adjust dosages, we can add in some product that really help flush the system, get you back on track. I'm impressed. I owe you some kudos for going through a birthday and a work event on HCG, because it's really difficult. So as hard as that was, we're actually going to be headed into what is, in my opinion, is the hardest part of HCG. HCG works it can certainly pull the weight off. I think the challenge is on the back end and being able to maintain the weight loss and being able to create an environment where you can have birthdays and you can go to events and you don't risk gaining any of this weight back. We call this the maintenance phase. So the next, from a mental perspective, the next phase is just 3 weeks long. And that's what you and I are going to talk about today. And first, I don't know if you're probably very anxious and you'd like to get on the scale. I'd like to see where we're at so we can talk about how to transition over the next couple of days if we need to sneak in another day or two or if we're ready to come off. Okay. So let's move to the scale. All right, so come on over here. Let me get all the numbers plugged in. All right, 125.0. Our goal was 123, wasn't it? It's all right. We may have one more day on HCG.
Okay.
What has been your average weight loss so far per day?
Like a half a pound, I think.
So, come on in. That's okay. Don't be discouraged.
Oh, I know.
Because I know you're like, because we started at, let's see, 139 with the gorge, correct? Mm-hmm. So we're down 10, 11, 12. We were down 14 pounds, which on your small frame is certainly an endeavor, and you had a week off. So, not to mention, on our scale, we look at dehydration. Mm-hmm. How has your water intake been today?
Today, not that good.
All right, so for all intents and purposes, I'm going to show you why you're at 125. Chances are, if you were to drink some water and come back and weigh later on, you would be less weight. Let me show you what I mean by this. Remember when you came in and saw me last time and we said that your water weight was at 66.6 pounds? Mm-hmm. Well, look where your total body water is today. 65.8. So you're even further dehydrated than you were the first time that you took this, okay? So that's a big concern. Your fat percentage is moving down. I mean, it's certainly fat that's coming off, but whenever our body is dehydrated, it moves water from our muscles into, it extracts it from our muscles, and our muscles weigh more than fat does. So it actually gives you a bigger reading than you would if you were hydrated. The fat percentage was at 28%, and the fat mass was at 35 pounds.
Okay, so that's a couple percentage of fat that I lost.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You've done a great job. Like I said, the numbers look good other than the fact that you're dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated, it really does play with those numbers more than people expect. So thank you for admitting that you hadn't had anything to drink because, and that's kind of what we do here. That's why I wanted to measure you, because if you would have said, you know, on my scale I'm 125 too, we would go another day or two. But since you were
this morning, right when I woke up, it was right under 123. So I was happy, excited, and I was like, I don't want it to change, so.
Okay, so drink lots of water today.
Okay.
So let's talk about maintenance phase and what you're going to be doing, okay? So now that you're done, you've reached your goal, I'm really proud of you, okay? So what we're going to be doing is tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're not going to have any HCG.
Okay.
We've got 3 days of no HCG, only the diet, okay? Now we modified, I know Nina made some modifications in your diet structure, and we want you to keep up with that piece, okay? So for 3 days, that would be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, when you wake up Saturday morning, you can start on the 1500 calorie phase, okay? Now, the biggest problem patients have here is not reaching 1500 calories because they do exactly what you just did this morning, which is, I'm finally at my goal weight, and I don't want anything to budge, so they kind of pick their bird eating, and that doesn't, it equals about 900 calories, which isn't even close to where you need to be. Amanda, I just want you to know, honestly, you look beautiful. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
And as a testament to not just looking at the scale, but just looking at how somebody feels and the confidence that they gain from doing something like this, like, I'm really proud of you. You worked very hard through this, and we also had some huge hiccups.
Yeah.
And for you to persevere through that, I'm just really proud and thankful because you look great.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Jill.